Before I get into using the dumbbell, a couple of things you want to be aware of. Keep your elbows narrow. As the dumbbell goes back, your goal is to try and hug your head with the elbows. When you do an overhead extension, keep the elbows narrow. You want to get the dumbbell in a position where you get this big stretch in the tricep. If you're not aware of it, you'll cheat unintentionally, sometimes intentionally, by missing this big stretch over. Because what you got to remember is when a muscle's stressed, it's through two ways: contraction and stretch. Your brain will actually avoid going into the stretched position because it's way more work for your body, but that's where the money lies. So when you do overhead extensions, keep the elbows narrow, but you want to get in a position with your dumbbell where you can feel the stretch before I go through the contraction. Little tip, when you're getting the dumbbell overhead, especially as you get heavier, this is how you do it. You get it up on the shoulder first, and then you get your hands, palms in that position. So you can see as I go through this move, see how the dumbbell's hanging out the back? So I'm keeping my elbows narrow and I'm really reaching over. I'm also intentionally keeping my chest up because I don't want this to happen. That's a sign that I'm avoiding the stretch. So I want to tip my elbows back, let the dumbbell hang before I come back into the contraction. You might need to take a breath in to prepare and lock the abs on, so that as you stretch back with the dumbbell, you're not arching through your lower back and cranking through here. So using your breath and using your core is like an extra layer to getting the most out of this move. So let me go through a couple of reps, and I want you to notice how when I take a breath in and how I use my core when I'm in the lowest position to help me get the dumbbell back. Another tip, you don't want to be gripping onto the dumbbell, because if you're gripping onto the dumbbell, you end up not letting the dumbbell hang right down. When the dumbbell has the position where it can hang straight down towards your tailbone, that's when you get the most stretch through the tricep before you go back into that contraction. So my hands are in this position, but I'm not actually holding the dumbbell, because watch what happens when I hold the dumbbell. See how the dumbbell points back? What I want is the dumbbell to point down. See how I'm not actually gripping it with my hands? I'm just letting it hang before I go through the contraction. So try not to hold it like this. Let the dumbbell hang, use your abs, keep the elbows narrow. Triceps are burning. I'm done.